Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about a potential trade in the NBA between the Phoenix Suns and the Atlanta Hawks. As yesterday, it was reported by Bleacher Report and Yahoo Sports that the Phoenix Suns are targeting two players in trades right now, Malcolm Brogdon and John Collins, they're targeting a lot of players in trades, but these are two new players that they're now interested in. I mean, we've heard about so many other players, Bradley Beal, Emmanuel Quickley, Monty Morris, Peyton Pritchard. Those are some of the names we've heard before, but now two of the new names and trade targets for the Phoenix Suns are Malcolm Brogdon and John Collins. I already have talked about a potential trade for the Phoenix Suns landing Malcolm Brogdon. Now I'm going to kind of talk about John Collins. But before I do this, I mean, have y'all noticed that, about, if not around 75% of the offseason reports, it's all been about Phoenix and what Phoenix, Bradley, yes, there's been all this Bradley Beal stuff, but I mean, some of the Bradley Beal stuff has been about, the Phoenix trading for Bradley Beal. And then it's Chris Paul and Aiden. It feels like if it hasn't been about the Phoenix Suns and DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul and what the Suns are going to do, it's been about the Houston Rockets and James Harden. And if it hasn't been about that stuff, it's been a couple other stuff like Bradley Beal to the Heat or Damian Lillard. But yeah, it feels like most of this off-season rumors in the last, couple weeks have mainly all been about the Phoenix Suns. But I'm going to go over all jokes though, but it basically is all about the Suns. Once it gets closer to free agency and the draft, as the draft is 5 days away, stuff will, there will be more rumors to come out that does not have to do with this Phoenix Suns. But let's go over what a trade would look like to get John Collins to the Phoenix Suns, which I have going down. So here's the trade that I think would go down between the Phoenix Suns and the Atlanta Hawks to get John Collins to the Phoenix Suns. So here you go. So John Collins, Garrison Matthews, and the 15th overall pick would be headed to the Phoenix Suns. And John Collins averaged 13 points per game and 6.5 rebounds per game. I think he would score way more. He'd probably score some more points, way more points than he did in Atlanta this season. He struggled in Atlanta. One of his worst seasons in the NBA this season. I think he'd have a bounce back season, not by much, but just a little bit of a bounce back year going into Phoenix if this trade were to happen. And so John Collins would be going to Phoenix. He averaged 13 points per game and 6.5 rebounds per game. And so would Garrison Matthews, solid shooter. He would be some decent shooting off the bench, averaged 4.5 points per game this season. Also a solid defender. And then the 15th overall pick, which I think the Phoenix Suns could maybe use that to draft a point guard, get a Chris Paul replacement, possibly with the 15th overall pick. And then here's what the Hawks would get. The Atlanta Hawks would get DeAndre Ayton and the 52nd overall pick in this year's draft. I know, that's 52nd isn't that good, but it's just an additional second-round pick with DeAndre Ayton, who averaged 18 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. I think it'd be pretty solid adding in DeAndre Ayton alongside Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. He's not going to be used for scoring that much with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young scoring a lot, but he'll probably still average around maybe 16 and 11 next season, maybe I would think he'd average around 16 and 11 on the Hawks, but I think DeAndre Ayton is definitely an upgrade over John Collins. But at the same time, I don't really see Atlanta doing this trade because Atlanta is one of those teams that is interested in trading up, not trading down. And as much as I think Atlanta would maybe be interested in DeAndre Ayton, I really don't think that there would be any way that they would potentially be interested in trading that far down. I mean, I know you're getting a better player in DeAndre Ayton, but I think Atlanta is one of those teams right now that is looking to trade up. I could see them being interested in trading up from 15 to 10 with Dallas or 15 to 12 with OKC. They're one of those teams that they're not going to trade up far, they're not going to trade up in the top 5, but I could see the Hawks trading up to 12 where the Thunder are, or 10 where the Mavericks are. They've already had some talks with the Mavericks about a potential trade, so it wouldn't shock me if Atlanta wanted to trade up from to 12 or to 10 where Dallas and OKC are, and you can't do that if you trade all the way down in a Phoenix trade. So I don't really see a John Collins trade to Phoenix happening, but Phoenix do have interest in him. You guys have your thoughts on the trade idea, guys? I mean, it's just rumors, but at the same time, it's intriguing to talk about. But you guys have your thoughts, and that's for the video. If you guys enjoyed, and peace out.